Grievous is back, baby.
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
That's gonna be fun to edit, huh?
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Wizard episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah,
I'm Drew.
and we are back with the Book of Boba Fett, Season 1, Chapter 4, The Gathering Storm.
Do, do, do.
And I didn't see a storm in this episode, so I didn't.
True.
I
Was
thought
there
this title was better for last week's episode, but
True. I was gonna say, was there a sandstorm?
there was no sandstorm.
Which
don't
there's
really
a
care.
lot of things that kind of confused me. We'll get into it, but yeah, I don't know.
But yes, so this was a longer episode,
It was.
48 minutes or something like that. So that was
Which means like 40
exciting.
minutes, because 4 in the beginning, 4 minutes at the end
Yeah,
of it. So it's like
the recap is super long. It seems like it's longer and longer.
Dude,
Like
okay, I was like talking about that in my live stream for the watch party. I don't remember the or Mandalorian doing that. Did they do that?
they did recaps, yeah.
But they didn't feel like you watched the entire like last episode. Like they're so long. Like, and this one, I felt like we were watching the recap, and then in the middle of it says previously on Boba Fett, and then they kept going in the recap. I was like, dude, this was like double recap almost. I don't know. I just don't remember them being this long.
Well, with Mando, I think they're shorter, but like they would also do like in the second season it was like callbacks. The first season was a lot of the recaps.
Yeah, and like now that I like think about it, because it's like we got like Boba walking up to Fennec, but we only had the fee, right? And so like it was like what, episode 5 is when we got him back, and so they showed that in the recap. I remember that. So I guess yeah, a lot of the recaps for season 2 was season 1 secrets and stuff that we never, or that
Right.
secrets. I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? Mysteries, mystery eggs, like hints
Easter
of
eggs.
Easter eggs, mystery eggs. That's a Easter thing, but yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, what were your overall thoughts of this episode, Drew?
I enjoyed the episode. I liked it a lot. I liked it more than last week's. I think for me, there's parts of it like I was like, when I was watching the watch party, and Andrew was in it too. We're talking about like, was it really necessary for us to see him like bring Finnick to get her parts and stuff like that? Like, I don't know if it was really necessary to see that whole scene, and the music where it's kind of weird in that scene. It kind of threw me. It kind of took me out of
Like the techno music.
yeah, like in the beginning was like kind of cool, but then it just kept going for like the entire like 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, it's a little much at this point. Like in the beginning, I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. Then Andrew's like, yeah, it's not bad. I like it fits. Like I feel like it's fine. And then like as it going, Andrew's like, all right, this is a little much. Like it kind of got old after a while, but like I think the scene was interesting, and but like also not really necessary. But it kind of ties in those the characters from last week more, so I guess that's kind of cool. But
Which character?
like all of the Power Rangers or
The
whatever,
the
the
modified
mod,
people.
yeah. So like it tied them into the story more because like he's dealt with them before,
Right.
so I guess that was kind of cool, and it kind of made them fit like they fit in Tatooine a little bit better because that was like the biggest complaint that everyone was talking about like this whole last week, right? Was like these guys don't fit on Tatooine.
Right.
They would fit in a different planet, but not Tatooine. People are calling them Power Rangers, and that's just come on, you're just being extra. But yeah, I don't know. But overall, like the whole episode, I thought was really cool. And I think we're done with flashbacks. That's
Right.
kind of what they said. So it seems like we're kind of done with flashbacks. And also, I thought it was really sweet to see the Slave One or Boba Fett ship or
What did you
whatever.
see that he referred to it as a fire spray?
No, I didn't. Did he say
So
that?
yeah, when he's like, I want to get fire spray my ship. I didn't catch it the first time I watched it. It was when the second time.
Oh, I didn't.
Usually
I
the
only
second
watched it
time.
once.
Yeah, usually the second time I put subtitles on so I don't get spoiled like in the first
Yeah.
run through. And he said fire spray.
Well, it went down half a notch for me now. But besides that, I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool, and Fennec's relationship with him, it felt more personal now. I don't know if you felt like that. If they feel more connected than I thought they did previously, so I thought that was really cool. I don't know what. Overall, though, I enjoyed this episode. I liked it a lot, and I thought the action was fun, and it was just a cool episode. So, Jeremiah.
I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed by this episode
Okay.
because, like you said about like Fennec getting her repaired, like how it kind of like dragged on. It was kind of like, do we really need all that?
Yeah.
Well, I thought there's a lot of that in this episode of things.
Well, like
Like,
the whole half of that, or over half of the episode, was all a flashback. Which, if we're gonna get to the nitty gritty of like what this is, like we were talking about how last week they need to step it up, and they kind of didn't. So I get that aspect, like the whole
well, it's
base
like
of like
with like Fennec, like that thing, like yeah, it kind of dragged on and like whatever. Then like some of the stuff was just like with the chrysanthemum, like when he was like beating up those Trandoshans, I'm like, what was that for? Like,
he has a lot of anger issues.
okay, but like that didn't do anything for the story. Like Boba could just went to him and said, "Hey, I need to hire you to guard me at this."
I mean, if
meeting.
you think of a story, yes, it really doesn't do anything to the story at all, besides of like what you said, and like you kind of get her personality a little bit though. Like,
Oh yeah,
it kind of built her like as a character a little bit. Also, like, are we gonna? Did she just get married? Like, what was up with that outfit?
she always wears white, doesn't she?
No, not like no. That was a whole new outfit. It literally looked like she just got done being married, and that was her after party.
I think she always has white dresses
Not
on.
maybe
This one
white,
was
but like
definitely a
this
little
was like,
lower cut than normal.
but this one was like white wedding dress. Like she even had like things coming out the back. Like it literally, I thought it was a wedding dress.
she's just bougie. That's all.
She is bougie.
But like when another thing that was just kind of pointless was when Boba was trying to stop the little droid in the kitchen.
Yeah, I didn't like. I didn't like that.
That didn't do anything for me. Like I didn't.
It was cool to see that character in live action, like that droid. For like, we haven't seen them in live action.
Yeah,
So
I remember seeing it in Clone Wars, but I don't remember like what episode that was.
I don't remember, but Andrew was pointing out like, yeah, it wasn't in live action, but yeah, it was kind of like, well, my thing was like, why did he grab him and say, "Do you know who I am? I'm Boba Fett." Like, okay, what? It's a little mouse-looking droid. Like, why did that? Like, you didn't say that to the guy that was throwing knives everywhere. That like, also Andrew, I'm gonna shout out to you again. He, as a guy spitting the knife, guess what Andrew said in the chat?
Spitting's a good trick.
Yes, he did.
That was my Grievous reference at the
yes,
at the beginning, but
yes, it was.
But then like there was something else that was kind of pointless. I forgot what it was. Oh, like I don't know how you felt about it, but the Sarlacc pit thing was kind of.
Oh, I liked it.
I'm like, what did that do for the story? It didn't do anything.
Well,
Is it? And here's the thing: they're lucky that that seismic charge blew up the way it did, just flat on the ground. That could have went up and down on him and cut him in half and killed
True.
him. Like that was
well, he did say don't touch my buttons again. Like,
right, but
so
I
maybe
don't
that's
know
what he was implying. Like, it could have went a different way. But also, they did set it, didn't they, or no?
what.
Did they, or no?
Say
They
what?
didn't. I was gonna say no. Did they set off the seismic charge?
Yeah, she pushed a button.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe she saw that it was flat.
She doesn't know that thing swallowed it and put it on it, pulled it down.
Oh,
Like
true. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I mean that's a good point. But I thought it was interesting. One, I jumped. So if you want to see that, go to our YouTube channel and watch the watch party because I definitely jumped when that thing came alive. Two, I thought it was kind of weird because like, dude, you came out with that armor on. Like,
yeah, but he was.
did you not remember that? Maybe he doesn't.
Well, we'll get into that, but let's just jump into scene by scene because we
But
kind of like.
but
keep
no,
that going,
overall,
but
you thought it was like a little underwhelming.
it was underwhelming because
But
last
there
week
is
I was
parts
like,
that were pretty dope though. You have to admit, there's a part at the end.
we'll talk about that.
Come on, dude.
But anyway, we'll do scene by scene now. But so it starts off Jabba's palace and Boba's doing his back to tank thing.
His thing.
I'm like, okay, we're gonna get
Flashbacks.
flashback, whatever.
Well, even when I was watching, I'm like, does he just sleep in that? Like, he's always in there, like
Right.
all the time, just chilling.
But so we see him at night on Tatooine, and I didn't know this, but there's 3 moons.
I
Did you know
literally said that. That's so funny. I said that in my watch party. I was like, I always knew there's 2 suns, but I never realized there's 3 moons on Tatooine.
Right. So that
That's
was
so
kinda,
funny that both you and me both pointed that out. Like, yeah, I never really noticed that either.
Yep. So Boba is just eating one of those giant frog lizard
Yeah.
things. And
The frog dog looking thing.
yeah, and then he gave a leg to the bantha, which I didn't think banthas were meat eaters.
Yeah, but like I didn't think so either. But what what non meat is there in Tatooine? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
There's a bush here and there. I don't know.
is there?
They just eat those watermelon things.
They didn't see the black melons.
black melons.
Which I mean, Disney, if you guys don't make a black melon drink at Galaxy's Edge, you're just throwing away money. Let's be real.
That is
Like,
true.
was it like a black cherry Coke or something, and just having the black melon thing? You know,
Or they could just make it something else.
they
It's
could,
not
but
a soda, but
I'm just saying you're throwing away money if you don't somehow. That's what they should call the water, black melon, and just have it as water.
good.
But
And then charge an extra $1 for it.
yeah, just more than $1, more like extra $5. But anyways, Disney.
So
my cut
anyway,
though.
he's there eating, and then there's big flashes in the sky. Now, did you catch what that was right away? Because I didn't.
Okay, so I didn't like right away, like at that second, and the chat, like Andrew was like, "Oh, I think he said like, is there a fire? I can look at it. I think he said, is that a fire or something?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's the flares from Mando." So yes, I caught it like a little bit after, but
I didn't catch it until
oh,
he
Finnick.
saw the bio there, and then that's when I
Oh.
realized it. But so this begs a big question then: where in the flashbacks was there a time jump?
Well,
Because this is 5 years that between him getting out of the
correct.
Sarlacc pit and
The
then getting his armor back.
the
So
flashback is that he was literally with the Sand People the entire time.
okay, but where was the 5 years? Was it 5 years when the village got burned, or was it 5 years after the village got burned and that's where he's at?
I think it's 5 years, wouldn't it? Because I don't think it would have took him that long to kill those riders. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he waited with that bantha old girl or whatever he called her, like for 5 years to avenge those people. So my guess is that he was with them. Like after he got his outfit, he hung out with them for 5 years. And like, and I think a big thing that he says in this, which I feel like is gonna be the new quote, because like this is the way is the Mandalorian quote. I think what I don't actually remember the quote. This kind of I should have wrote it down, but like the quote of like you're only as good as your tribe or something like that. Like the tribe quote. I forget what
Yeah.
it was. Like I think he loved them so much. Like and they changed who he was as a person. And a lot of people hate the biggest complaint that I've seen from everyone in the show is like, why is Boba so soft? Why is Boba doesn't seem as strong? He seems weak. He's not the Boba Fett that we've always known. Well, I think everyone like as a person, you change. Like I'm not the same as when I was even 20, like 10 years ago, And I think we that's what the whole Sand People stuff was. Like he changed as a human. Like he's a different person. He's not a lone ranger anymore. Like he's not like Fennec, where she's like, I like being by myself. I'm higher, but like that's who he was. But he's not like that anymore. He wants to create people around him to support him, and he will support them and like keep them safe and stuff like that. And so I think he enjoyed his time with the Tusken Raiders so much that he stayed with them for 5 years. That's my take. I don't know if maybe we'll get a better when that actually happened, but my take from that was he was with them for 5 years. Then he went out. Like it wasn't like he got his outfit, went out the tent, then jumped on that bantha and patrolled or whatever he was doing. Like I think, but maybe not.
Well, because here's the thing. So there's a scene.
Hmm.
I forget where exactly it was.
I'm confused now.
Mm,
Now that I think about it,
Because
when
he
he
scouts
left,
out Jabba's palace, and he's like, "There's still too many guards. Like we can't take it now."
yes.
So that implies that he's been watching them for a while, trying to
Hmm.
gauge how many people are there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of side with he spent years by himself in the desert, which would be opposite of what you think. But I don't really. It's hard to say. So it's like I wish the show in this
Said that
episode
better.
like portrayed that more. Like
Because we do have to think when he did go to the Pikes in that last episode, we saw that the Empire already did fall.
well, right, yeah. But that happened.
So that
That happened
happened.
a couple days after he got a Sarlacc pit, though. So
True, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question because also in to counter my thought is too is like why he wouldn't wait 5 years to finally go talk to the Pikes after that situation happened, right? Or
I don't know.
I
Like
don't know.
that's hard because it doesn't. You can look at individual scenes from the first 3 episodes and give evidence for where he spent most of his time, whether it was in the tribe or after the tribe was killed, and it's like it's unclear. And so,
Maybe we need to make like a breakdown video and try to figure out this puzzle for ourselves because I have no idea.
right,
Let us know your thoughts, guys,
yeah.
on comments on YouTube or just
Let us know in
send
the
us your
Discord.
voicemail, Discord. What is your time? Because that is a really good question. Because I was thinking it was like they burned and it's already been 5 years and he hung out with them, but Jeremiah's thinking the opposite. But then I'm not really confident in my thought either. Like I don't know.
Right.
It's
So
kind of hard to tell.
it's just weird that, and like you said, earlier, it seems to imply that the flashbacks are going to be done. So like they can't go
Tell us
back,
now.
tell us back, and when they have a flashback for in between 2 episodes, like that doesn't make sense
Yeah,
to do
because
that.
yeah.
But maybe they'll come out with a comic explaining
No,
it all.
jeez. Come out with a book, I'll read it. Come out with a comic, that's too much dedication.
But yeah, so anyway, he finds Fennec, and I don't know how she didn't die, like why she wasn't dead, like in that moment, because it was still had to
It
have
was a long
been
time
had to
from
been
that walk, and that thing
because
don't move fast.
it seems like he right when those flares were going off, he went to go investigate. So probably within an hour of those flashes, he found her body. But
Well,
then,
she didn't die from then though. That was like a day later.
huh?
So those flashes happened,
Yeah, but that's
and
when
then
Mando and the Han Solo wannabe
they
are
got her.
were going to her,
Correct.
and they capture her, and then
Yes, and then
and
the next
then
day he shoots her.
no, because the sun is rising when he
Or the
shoots her.
sun, yeah, the sun that
So
night though.
they do it in the middle of the night, so that's within a couple hours, that
Yeah.
of them heading out in the middle of the night to when Mando has to go back to get speeders or whatever. That's when.
Yeah, it's not like he like found her.
So either way, it's still within probably an hour or two from when those flares went off is when he found the body. That's my
Correct.
guess. But like, why didn't she die?
I mean, she was dying, but maybe it wasn't. The nice thing about laser shots is at least you're not bleeding out. You know, you
There's
just
that.
you have a hole in you, and maybe she could survive on one kidney while the other one's shot. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but even then, like even from when he found the body and brought him to Mos Eisley, I
Yeah.
think it's
No.
like on that bantha, like
Yeah.
banthas
No,
don't
that's what I'm
walk
saying.
that
The
fast.
freaking Bantha's slow as heck. Like, she was like, "Are you sure you want to give him a lay? Oh, you sure you're gonna let him go after like in that little bit of episode?" I'm like, it's not like he walks fast. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, so I don't know.
She's slow as heck. But yeah, I get it. Like, I didn't understand. I thought she was already
It
dead.
just makes me think like all these people that get shot with blasters in Star Wars, they don't actually die. They're just laying there for like
Yeah, they let him
12
die
hours
by
and then they
his
die.
crew.
So like all these people that we think died could actually be saved if they just
And it was a critical enough shot that he had to make a solution out of it. You know, like it's not like he like did it himself. Like it was a critical
well,
enough shot.
we'll get to that too. But so
Yeah.
so he brings them into the town
Mm-hmm.
where there's all these I don't know what you want to refer to these people as, like modded up people, like cyborgs,
Cyborgs. I just
whatever.
call them cyborgs.
I didn't know if any of those there that we saw were any of the same people
They
that he
weren't.
recruited.
They weren't. Which I thought would have been. I kind of like that because I think it's always kind of cheesy when it's like in those situations. Like if it would have been like that guy with the one eye, he would have recognized them. You know, like
Right.
it. I like that it was separate in the sense of like they're just different people. So
And it is technically two different towns too, because he went to Mos Eisley and
yes.
the gang was Mos Espa, so
Mm-hmm.
it is two separate towns. But it was just interesting, like all that Modder did, like all this replace everything and work his magic, and so
Which I thought it was like it's like the Star Wars equivalent of a tattoo parlor. That's what it felt like to me.
oh right, yeah,
Like it just felt like a tattoo shop, but instead of tattoos, you get a
modded.
new like that guy with two fake eyes. That was so
Were
cool.
they fake eyes or were they just like
No, like he had like fake
I know what you're
eyes.
talking about, but like they were like on the outside, like they were more like
Well, I think it's like that other guy when like you remember like last week she's like keep an eye on him, and then he's like, oh, I don't think it's whatever. I paid a lot for this eyeball. Like it's kind of like that, and it was like more intense. It was like two big old fake eyes. That was cool.
But yeah, so he repairs her, and then Boba. It seems like he brought him back to where she was found, the same spot, so that when she woke up, she'd be
Yeah,
less scared or something.
yeah.
But
And we do have to mention that like that guy was not. He was hesitant to fix her.
Well, only because it was an old guy that just came in without an appointment.
Yeah, yeah.
But for the right price.
Well, and then he was like, that was like another thing was like we saw that she was modded, you know, in episode 2 or episode 5 of season 2.
Yeah.
And they show that because like he was like, why would I cover her? Why would I cover her up?
Such beauty or beautiful work or something like that.
Yeah. So
which makes sense because people who get tattoos,
exactly,
like a lot of time, not everyone, but a lot of people like their tattoos mean something. It's something as a work of art that they want to show.
Yeah.
And so
it's literally this equivalent of a tattoo.
And this might be like his hardest job ever. Like
it took forever. It took like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Which his hand was really cool.
He had
his droid hand thing.
Just attach whatever he wanted.
That was pretty dope.
But
I just, like I said earlier, like the music kind of got old. Like it feels sci-fi, but like I can see all the same people that complained about last week's episode how they looked like they're straight out of like Mad Max. They're gonna watch this scene and say the exact same thing. Like this feels like Mad Max. Like this doesn't feel like Star Wars. And I get that, but when they left, it felt like Star Wars again. So,
okay. But so Fennec wakes up, and Boba explains what happens. Now, this is where I thought that they missed something that they could have done better in the writing, because he says, "I saved you." He says, "I saved you," and that's what we had last season. Like he saved her, but then he says that he brought her to a mod parlor. Now, for me, that takes away from what he did, or at least her perception of what he did. Because if he's the one that actually did the work to save her, she would feel more in debt to him, I think. But that could have been used later in the series where she finds out that he didn't actually save her, other than just bringing her to get help. And like having that be like, "Oh, you lied to me," would have been a good thing.
Relationship struggle.
Yeah, like where she felt like she was betrayed by him by not giving her all the information.
Yeah, that's not really Boba Fett's character, though.
What do you mean?
You know, it's not his character to lie like that.
How do you know? We don't know anything about him. This is like all we have of him is this series.
So far, we know that's not his character. So,
but
I understand, like, because like you said, like last in the Mandalorian season, like we assumed that he did that, like he found her and like fixed her. In a sense, he did. He found her and brought her somewhere and paid the money to get her fixed.
From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view, it does work. And like the whole point of it too is like she does say, "Well, I can pay you," and then he's like, "I don't want to be paid." Like he wanted her to help. Right. Like he knew who she was right away, which.
Oh yeah, I really liked her expression when he said that he was Boba Fett. Like she was like, "Oh crap!" Like
she's like, and then didn't really believe it. Yeah.
But yeah. So when she says, he's talking about how he wants his ship back, where he says calls it the fire spray. It's now official canon. But she like, "I'm gonna do this, help you get your ship back, and then we're even," type of thing. And Boba's like, "If that's what you want, like, whatever, okay." But like, we'll get to that later. But so they go to the Jabba's palace, and they spy it out, scout it out, and she sends in a spy droid probe ball thing.
Mine like a little droid
drone thing.
I thought it was cool. I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
She always has something in the butt of her rifle. Last episode, it was throwing knives. Just as she has this spy ball, like
the butt of her rifle is Batman's.
Oh, I wonder what she's gonna pull out of it next week. What do you think?
New car.
No,
it's like what
gonna have
Hermione's
a-
purse.
She's
Like,
gonna have a snack.
yeah, like there's always something in that gun. Which I feel
But
like when you take it out, the accuracy is a little off because it weighs different. But
possibly. But
boy,
so it scouts it out inside, comes back, and so they get the information they need. And so Boba Fett parts ways with his bantha. It's pretty sad.
okay, when it kisses him, I was like, oh, that's so gross.
licks him?
Ooh. Oh, you need the bath after that. But yeah, it wasn't really that sad. I thought it was kind of weird. I was like, dude, chill.
He's like,
But it shows you
go
that he
meet up with
loves.
other banthas and make some bantha
Yeah,
babies.
that part. That was like me and Andrew, like, well, that was just weird. Like, and it didn't fit. Like the writing right there was bad. I'm sorry because
that's the thing you complain about this episode is being bad.
that
wasn't anything.
writing scene that was bad.
About him just parting ways with the bantha.
No, not the bantha. Just him saying like, "Go find other banthas and make bantha babies." I was like,
Okay, how do people talk to
why?
their pets? They talk them like
I
stupid stuff.
I don't.
Like,
True, but at the same time, I don't say, "Okay, Ahsoka, go make babies." Like, no, I don't talk to my
I'm just
dog like
saying, if
that.
you had to part ways in a zombie apocalypse with your dog and had to set her free, like,
One, if I was in a zombie apocalypse, I would keep my dog because then
first
she
of
would
all, your
tell
dog
me.
is a pansy and would
True.
be scared
Well,
of anything that moves.
but she would at least tell me when it's moving. She would.
Yeah, she's gonna
alert
run
me.
away, and you're not.
Hey,
Gonna
at
get
least
called
I
to
know that there's someone there.
you gotta
But
remember, you don't need so like, I don't need to outrun the zombies. I just gotta outrun Drew.
true. But if you guys don't know, my dog is super thick, and
Ripped.
jacked and ripped, but she can't run that fast. So I might be able to outrun her actually. So,
But yes. So anyway,
but also right after that, Phoenix says that scene like, then you're free. He says, "Oh, and then you're free too." After that, I was like, "Are you gonna tell her to go make babies?" Like,
oh gosh.
he's like, "All right." And after we get your ship, you're free too. And
Do you
then I was
know
like,
that
"Are you gonna
that actress is like
Mulan?"
65 years old or
Yeah,
something
she's
like
old.
that?
No, I don't. She's.
She's in her 60s.
I think she's 62. I think
62, 63, but
I'll pull it up real quick, but I'm pretty sure I looked
so
at it last time.
I think her
She.
her baby
What?
making
Oh,
days are in the past.
don't count her out.
Well, unless she goes to the mod parlor and gets a
Mhm.
a new
Some fresh eggs.
some fresh parts,
But she is Mulan, so that's cool.
yes. So then
she was
they
born in 63, so do the math. She was born in 1963, so
I can't do math on the top of my head, but
she's up
so
there.
that 59 then 58.
Yes,
Let's go to Wikipedia. It will say exactly her age.
that's
Come
a lot
on.
more work.
Well, that should be the first thing that
Chat,
pops up.
where are you at? Help me out. But yes,
I thought she was like, unless Tamar Morrison is one at 62.
he's up there for sure.
I thought he's way younger. But
No, he's older than her.
so she is 58.
Yes, and he is, how old is he? He was born in 60, so he's 61.
Okay, so he's the one that's older.
Yes.
Okay.
Either way, they're both old as heck.
Anyway,
playing 40-year-old characters or whatever.
Anyway, they break in, they sneak into the Jabba's palace. Now, I didn't really like her little like metal cutter thing. Like we've never seen anything like that in Star Wars, have we?
Honestly,
You'd think like the clones would have those kind of things, or the rebels would have these things that could just cut through things so easily. Like I don't remember seeing anything like that before, so it was just kind of weird that she had that. It didn't really seem like anything, but
like anything that you recognize.
Right. So they go into the kitchen where now it's funny because if you have the subtitles on, you have one. So they're talking. So you see their names. One's a chef droid. The other one's a sous chef droid.
So
Which is so stupid, but whatever. So they're making all the food or whatever, and
well,
Fennec and
and that one guy is the same droid who was in Jabba's palace, and he was the one that was he was like in charge of all the droids in episode 6.
which one?
So the one who was like gonna go look for to see if it was a mouse.
Oh, the first
The
one that
first
died.
one, yeah. He was
I don't
like the main droid that was in Jabba's palace when R2 and C3PO went down there. Like he was the one that was in charge of them. And it literally was the same like voice and everything, which could just be the model, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be the same one. But yeah, it is weird that they named them that. Like they just didn't have names for these droids or what.
Right. But they kill the one, and then the main chef who has 6 arms and knives thinks he's Grievous. I was like, this is definitely a Grievous thing. Like it could have been something like,
Well, and he's kind of Grievous's colors too.
well, it was all intentional for it to look like that.
Yeah.
But I wish like Disney or Lucasfilm or writers or whatever would play on with the memes of things. They could have done like Boba Fett said hello there, and then the chef droid could have been like Boba Fett or whatever. Like
That would have been cool.
I wish we would see like once in a while,
Like a legit meme.
like where they
instead of,
actually
like,
just
at 10.
kind of like poke fun at themselves, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then Fennec, she goes up and slits his droid throat.
Yep.
Okay, whatever. And then we have the scene with that stupid little droid that runs around. Like it was such a pointless scene.
So dumb. It was too kiddish for me.
Right. And then like it just turns itself off, just opens up its chest and pushes the off button.
He knew he was gonna die, so he just killed himself essentially.
Well, even then, like just turn the power button back on and like.
But he can't. He can't.
Boba?
No, Boba can. Yes,
Yeah, like you're trying to like get information from him. Just
I don't think he was. I think he was just trying to threaten him.
I don't know.
He doesn't really need information. He just was threatening him. But I thought it was stupid. Like that was like my complaint was like, why did he have to pull up this droid and be like, "Hey, I'm Boba Fett. Do you know who I am?" Like, what?
Right.
Yeah, this mouse hunter droid who led it into the kitchen to try to find a mouse. That's what he cares about? Like,
right. And then the thing is, like they let him walk in and then get far away. So when he tries to attack him, he has time to run. Like,
yeah,
they could have just attacked him right when they got close, and then they wouldn't have had to deal with that. So whatever. Yeah. But then they make their way down to the hangar where the fire spray is, and they just fight all the guards and R.I.P. double gonk droid.
Yeah, double gonk.
Yeah, and when that thing was started walking out into the open, and there was a bunch of people around, I'm like, okay,
oh, game over.
She's definitely gonna shoot that and blow him up.
Andrew's comment was like, "Oh, Riley would be so sad." Like, yeah.
But yeah, so they just battle it out and escape. Okay. Like, I don't know. It was kind of anticlimactic, but I guess there's not much you can expect from a escape scene from a hangar. Like, what else are they gonna do? But yes, so they escape, and Boba's like, okay, like your debt is paid, you're free to go. Where do you want me to drop you off? And she's like, I think I'm gonna stay and like watch what you do or whatever. But like her, I don't know. I don't trust Fennec anymore. I think she has alternative motives.
Ooh.
Because I don't the way she responded, like "I'm gonna stay," was more
like
she's because what was it? His line was like, "It's better for people to think you're dead," and like
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I don't know. Somehow she's using him for something, and so okay, so this is also Sydney from Cinemakery, who I'm doing my bake off against. We were
Shout
talking
out
this
to you.
we did our we planned that whatever, but we were talking about this last episode when Chrysanthemum attacks Boba, and
Yeah,
she told me, like, why was Fennec the last one there?
is
And I'm like,
that's what I said.
she didn't say that.
Yeah, I was like, why? What took Finnick so long to get there? Like, it didn't make any sense to me why
Well, yeah,
Finnick was so slow.
but we were talking about how she let him in.
Well, I didn't say that.
Yeah, because there's like, how did he get in? But like, so
That's
we were
a
kind of
cool
thinking that
thought.
she let Chrysanthemum in, and that's why she wasn't there to protect him. So I don't think that I don't think she's on Boba's side. I think she has alternative motives.
Because that was like my thing last episode is that she was a little sketchy. Like, what took her so long to get to that situation, and what was she doing? Like, and two, even like right after that situation, Boba's so stressed out about it, and her line was, "Oh, just let them attack again." Like, that's literally what she said. So I definitely can get behind that theory of she's a little sketch.
Yeah.
But like T in the chat said, what would be her motives? Maybe she's in line with the Pikes. Maybe she's working with the Pikes or the Hutts.
Because she was already on Tatooine for from when we see her in Mando. So like I wonder what that. I have to go back and watch that episode.
Like,
But
what
why
was
she was
doing?
there?
Well, she was So I've seen it recently. They were hunting her. Remember? Like,
Well, right, but like why was she there in the first place?
yeah, I don't know. I don't think they ever say. They just said that she was there. Like, she could be around there. So I don't know.
Because if she was already there working with the Pikes or something, like,
Yes.
So I don't know. We'll just have to watch and see. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't trust her.
I don't trust her either. Now that you say that, it makes me think a little bit more. Also, I didn't like her response last episode. Now, if there's nothing with her and we're just overseeing it, I still think that episode was a little sketch because it didn't make sense why she was so slow to get to that situation, why she's the last one there. And so I can get behind that she let Chrysanthemum in. I could get behind that. But yeah.
So after they escape and she decides to stay, they go and track down the Nick 2 bikers and just blow them up and kill them.
Which was classic Boba Fett. That was a Boba Fett that, as soon as that happened, I was like, this is a Boba Fett that everyone's been complaining that we haven't seen. This is him. And so,
no, that's not.
dude,
I don't picture him as like, because he's a bounty hunter and like does assassination jobs. He doesn't just go out and just like blow everything up and then leave. Like he's
no, but people been biggest complaint about the show is that Boba has been soft.
Well, and then he discussed
And
Fennec right after
they,
this says this, like, you're soft now.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm stronger now because of this. And
Yes,
it's because
correct.
he believes in numbers, not just working solo.
Correct. Which I appreciate that they like acknowledge that and they said that in the show. And like they probably assumed people were gonna have this. But in this scene, when this happened, I was like, all right, all y'all haters out there, shut up and just watch this amazing scene as it kills everyone. I thought it was amazing.
Well, I just thought it was cool how you see him far off in the distance approaching. Like that was just a really good.
It was a good wide
visual.
shot. It was pretty dope. And then he used like a legit missile for the last one.
Come on, that was a waste
No,
of a missile. Come on.
So I was like, yes, put the
he doesn't
icing on
have
the
unlimited missiles. Like
who
like
cares? It
whatever.
don't matter. It's dope.
Whatever. He kills them, gets his revenge.
And we forgot, but he was saying that the ship is fine. It's just a little rusty, and she did recommend. I think that was the thing that she recommended. Oh, we can go to Mos Eisley and get it fixed. And then he said, "I will do it myself because there's something to say about like there's something good about being dead or something like that." That was
that's
line. So like that is something like it is. At this point, he's still trying not to show himself to everyone, which I thought was pretty cool.
And so then after he gets his revenge, he goes to the Sarlacc pit, and I don't know. I thought this scene was stupid.
I liked it. I was like, I did not think we were gonna be trying to fly inside the Sarlacc pit to see where his armor was.
Like,
I didn't
why
have
would
any...
he think that he could see it just by looking in? Like,
I mean, yes, it was kind of weird, but
and like, so that was just weird. And then like I think you might have mentioned it earlier. Like, how did he not know or remember that?
Yeah, that my whole thing was like he did not. The Jawa, he looked up and he saw Jawa, and they hit him in the head. Like maybe they like legitimately fully concussed him, and he doesn't remember that scene at all. But like, one, I like that he mentioned that it's Beskar. Like we know it is, but like we've never heard it come out of his mouth because they're like, why would it? Or Finn's like, it'd be destroyed by now, but he was like, but it's Beskar.
But here's the thing, like it still doesn't make sense that the Beskar saved him because of all the open spots. That acid would have definitely killed him. Like,
remember, yes, he couldn't breathe, or he would, yes, which is why he had all those scars all over his body from the acid and stuff like that. But yeah, so like they did talk about that, and then I thought it just the only thing my complaint was about this scene was like, how do you not remember? You crawled out with your armor, you passed out, you got hit over the head when you woke up to them pulling the armor off you, but you still think it's in there? Like, doesn't really make sense to me. But I don't know. Also, dang, I just realized this.
What?
We're never gonna see, unless something happens to him and gets injured, and then he has to go back in the Bantha tank. We're never gonna see him figure out who has his armor. Right. Because according to this episode, but I feel like this boy's about to get hurt, and he's gonna have to go back in there, and we're gonna get one more flashback.
So when Boba tracks down Mando, he's like, the armor that Cobb Vanth had. So he knew that name, and so
yeah,
like, I'm wondering.
He literally said Cobb Vanth's name. So
okay, but when did he learn that name?
That's my question.
Was that before or after Mando gets Boba's armor? Like, because he could have learned, like, he goes into the town and, like, what happened
in the town here? And then beats up Cobb Vanth to get information.
Cobb Vanth had the armor and gave it as payment or whatever.
Or he saw Cobb Vanth and Boba's, like, fighting the Crate Dragon and saw that exchange, and then as soon as Mando left, he, like, talked to Cobb. Either way, we're not going to see this unless your boy gets hurt again.
Right. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's all this, like, weird timing things in this series, like with the 5 years of, like, where did he spend most of his time? This, like, when did he learn about
even T in the chat was like, why wouldn't he be looking for his armor sooner? And I don't. The times is kind of all over the place. It feels like. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like did he think he needed his ship in order to look for his armor? Or was he denying himself as maybe he was never going to be Boba Fett again? He didn't want to be Boba Fett again. He was willing to just be.
Well, I just don't think he knew Cobb Vanth had it until Mando showed up.
Correct. I think you're right on that. But my question is like, if this. Yeah, I don't know. This is why I kind of lean more towards that he was with the Tuscans for 5 years, because it seemed like he was content in that lifestyle and what was happening with him.
Right.
And then once they kapooped and they weren't there anymore, then he decided to build his own tribe and his own family. And the only way he was going to be able to do that is to become Boba Fett again.
Right.
So maybe that's how that's.
Because then obviously, you know, and I'm like trying to like figure out like I'm starting to get to the point where I'm overlapping like what's the flashback and what's live. So
yeah.
So when Mando gets the armor, Boba already has Finnick at his side.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because remember, Mando leaves Tatooine, whole end of season,
right, and then
he comes back to Tatooine,
right, and so then Boba and Fennec have yet to take Jabba's throne. So, like,
correct.
I'm wondering.
I think that's a thing that I think this episode actually showed well. As he was getting out of the Bantha take, they kind of did a fast flashback, but still, like, they showed them taking over Phoenix, or they show him taking over Jabba's palace. They actually showed that scene instead of the only time we saw this was at the end credits of episode 2, or
Right.
the end of season 2 of Mandalorian, which I keep thinking, I'm like, if you were just watching this, like, typed in, it's Boba Fett show, I'm going to watch this. You have no idea what's going on, because that beginning scene was only shown in a different, like, movie, like, different TV show. You know what I mean? Like, they should have started the show with that scene. And I thought they didn't, and I don't know why they didn't. Because, like, if you're just a casual fan and you watched Mandalorian and you didn't even see that Boba Fett part, and then you go watch Boba Fett and you're like, oh, he owns Jabba's palace, that's cool, but, like, you don't understand why, because you didn't see the after credits, because you're a noob and you aren't on the internet or something. Like, there's probably like a couple of people out there. So I do like that they kind of acknowledge that again. But yeah, but that's still all after season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Right.
Which a lot of people forget. Like, this is after that situation.
Right.
At least we're
catching up.
Yeah, we're catching up.
But, like, so the flashback ends, obviously it ends with the Boba taking the throne thing, but before that it's them talking about how he wants to recruit Fennec to be with him so he can start his own house.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, I can offer you something that no one else will offer you, and that's loyalty and my protection.
Yes.
And so that's from there to season 2 of Mandalorian. You know, that's probably a couple months of span right there where him and Fennec are hanging out in the desert, and all they have is his ship. I want to know what they were doing in between then and when he finds the armor on that Mando has the armor. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll get that. I don't know if they'll even. I'm guessing they won't even address that. But
well, because so after the flashbacks are done, this is the only time in this whole show that it like drains. Like, he woke up and he pushed the button.
that's not the only time.
Yes, that he did it without being
No, he's
forced.
done it before.
No, he hasn't. Every time, if you watch it, every time he leaves that thing, he's been told to leave by Phoenix, like, hey, you got something going on, or he gets interrupted. Somehow he always gets interrupted. He's never done
No,
it
because I
himself.
remember
and leave.
seeing him push the button before. It's like, oh, that's how you get out.
Yeah, but it's because someone told him to get out. Like, he never fully finished. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't
Because,
know.
like, the first time he got out, Finnick was knocking on the thing.
Yeah.
And then he pushed the button and he got out. And then I think there's one other time in between, and then Black Santan, like, pulled him out. And so this was, like, the time that he, like, did it. It drained fully. Like, we saw the whole thing. He got out. And then the droid was like, congratulations, you're done recovering or whatever. So, like,
Right.
at this point, we're led to believe he does not need to go in the back of the tank anymore. He has no more scars on his head or his face. And then Phoenix walks in and says, now what about the scars in his heart? Or, like,
Yeah.
she even said heart or insides or something like that.
Whatever, yeah. But I don't know. He's like, those take a lot longer or something like that. So I don't know what that would be specifically, but I don't know. But after he gets out of the back of the tank, they go to the cantina, like casino place, and we see Trandoshans playing whatever game and winning.
Yeah,
And
they're just gambling, playing Texas Hold'em.
Black Chrysanthemum is just like getting pissed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it because they're just winning money and because they have money and he doesn't.
No,
like,
he's pissed because he doesn't have a cup of coffee.
Really?
That's why he's pissed. And if he would have had a cup of coffee from our sponsor, he probably wanted him.
I had a whole another time planned for bringing this up, but okay, we'll go with your.
Hey, that was a good time too. I thought you forgot. Anyways,
no, it was gonna be when he's having the meeting with all the houses. Like, hey, let's have a cup of coffee. Sit down, have a cup of coffee. Let's talk this out.
I love, like, in the middle of our episodes of the podcast, we're like trying to figure out when to do our ad, and we're literally just like, well, you should have done it here. Like, we're arguing in the middle of our podcast episode. Either way, he wouldn't have got mad if he had a cup of black coffee from Wesley Andrews.
All right, so let's listen to this ad and hopefully it works.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. Get your coffee. Don't be like Black Chrysanthemum and get all angry because you don't have your caffeine that you need.
Right. So, for whatever reason, he's getting upset. And it's probably because he has a giant bill, which we find out later, that he can't pay.
And he was like, it just seems like he doesn't like anyone being happy around
But
him.
I think it also had to do with the yellow Twi'lek chick, like
flirting with them
and like celebrating with them. He's like, that used to be me type of thing. But
yeah,
I don't know. I just didn't get it. Like, I just don't understand like why he was getting so upset. But so he's beating up these Trandos. And he has the last guy he's about to rip the arm off of, and Garza comes in and stops it. Like, hey, we get it. These are your glory days. You were the most feared. You were the best, and talks him down. Like, you don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And she's like, this put him down, and we'll just call. We'll cancel your
Your
tab.
bill.
And he rips off the arm anyway. So does that mean his bill is paid, or I don't think his? I think he still has an outstanding bill because he.
No, he gave her money. You don't remember that?
So it's true then. So he didn't get his bill paid off. He paid it himself by stealing it from the Trando.
No, he had the money. He
Okay.
took money out. He had money himself. I think he didn't care about his bill. I think he just wanted to rip the guy's arm off to show that he's superior than everyone in the room.
But if he had money, why didn't he pay his bill?
Well, because he was still drinking. He was still chilling. He
Nah,
didn't care.
she implied it was like.
She implied, but
weeks
that's
of
not
stuff,
why
like-
though.
Like
Because
he
he grabbed the money and just threw it at the person left.
I don't know. I thought like that was. He took it off the Trando.
That would be interesting.
I think that's what he did. He's like, I don't need your free drinks. I'll just steal it so they still are free for me or whatever. Like, but whatever. And so this whole time, right when the fight starts, Boba walks in and watches this. He's just standing there watching.
Without his helmet on, which noise.
And so then Chrysanthemum, he leaves, and Boba looks at Garza and is like, well, it was worth a try. Like,
Yeah, like
but that was just kind of funny, whatever. But so Chrysanthemum goes out, he's walking away, and Boba's like, all right, looks like you need some work. I'm like, okay, what's this work? I'm excited.
do you think he needs work because he needs money, or do you think he needs work because he's bored? It seems like he just wants to be powerful, and right now he's in.
Well, because
He
he's a
has
bounty
no-
hunter. Like
yeah.
he only gets. That's what he does. He just gets single jobs at a time. But so I was like, okay, what's this job? And then he is just working security during the next scene in the meeting. Like, okay,
Yeah,
that was
in
kinda
the
lame.
I just rewatched it. It didn't show where he got the money from, but it kind of did look like he pulled it off the table that they were at. So maybe he did just grab it off the table.
Yep,
And maybe that's why he does need to work, because he doesn't have
money.
I love that she said Max too. Like, she acknowledged the band.
Oh, hit
As
it, Max.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so the next scene is just Black Chrysanthemum doing security at Boba's meeting with the other crime lord houses or whatever you want to call them. And so, what do you want? He's like, okay, y'all know that the Pikes are coming. They're stripping Tatooine of its resources, and they're using it to do their spice, whatever. And he's like, so then we get that scene from the trailer, like, what's stopping us from killing you? And then the Rancor rattles the cage. Like, they're not going to shoot him because there's a Rancor in him. Like, they could shoot him now, and the Rancor's not going to kill him. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, it wasn't planned, I don't think, to scare him with the Rancor, even though it was funny that they're on top of the...
I think it kind of was. Like, it seems like at any moment he could have dropped the whole table inside of the Rancor pit and he would have ate them all.
Yeah. But
Like,
does that cover move, though?
they don't know that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It seemed like he was threatened, and the Rancor knew that Boba was threatened, and he reacted.
Right.
And so, like, yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was cool.
So then one of the guys is like, okay, so then what's your proposal? Like, why do you bring us here? And he's like, well, we need to start an alliance to fight the Pikes. And then they're like, the one guy's like, well, the Pikes aren't invading our areas. They're only invading your area. Why would we sacrifice
why would we
men?
risk our...
So then Boba's like, okay, fine. I'll do it myself, but just promise me you'll remain neutral. And they all agree to that. Now, the first two, the Trando and then the Aquilish, the spider like head looking guy, kind of. I believe them. They're like, yeah, that's a good deal. But that the dog looking guy, which I think are the same species from that village episode 4 from season 1, the sanctuary episode, that
You think?
invaders. I think that's the same species because they look like dogs.
No, because those guys look more like those guys.
They look like bulldogs. I think they're the same
These
species.
ones do, but I don't. The Mandal season 1.
They look like bulldogs in season 1, and then these guys look like bulldogs.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. I thought they looked more like what's it called?
I don't know. So, but either way, that specific guy was the last one. He was very reluctant, and so I don't trust him. So I think he's gonna side with the Pikes in the coming episodes, like his house. But that's the alliance that they're like, we're just don't get involved. I'll take care of the Pikes type of thing. And they all agree to that, and they leave. So do you think that?
Well, he also mentioned it too, like I trust him as much as like anyone should, like.
Right, but do you think
Sense, like,
do you think that that third guy is gonna betray the alliance and side with the Pikes?
if it helps his cause, he will.
All right, but that could be anyone. But I'm asking you, do you think he will? Yes or no?
Oh, do you?
Do you think in upcoming episodes he's gonna side with the Pikes?
Yeah, I think so because he's the only one that was pushing back.
All right.
So
then, as all
Daddy
those people
Pal,
are,
what's up? What?
as those are all those groups are leaving, Fennec and Boba are kind of like talking, okay, do you trust them? Blah blah blah, whatever. He's like, we need to get help, and she's like, Fennec's like, well, how much treasure do we have stored up? He's like, well, I don't care about the treasure. I got enough credits. Like Boba's
Yeah, he's
rich.
like, well,
we don't even know how much he's
I have
rich.
enough credits.
He's like, I need muscle. He's like, well, she's like, well, money can buy muscle.
Yeah.
And then we hear the Mandalorian theme.
Yes.
Now, I waited till I logged in on the the watch party just the last few minutes just to see you react to that, and you were pumped.
Freaking out. I'm pretty pumped, dude.
So, do you think we're gonna get Mando?
Yes.
Or do you think
why? What?
Or do you think that this implies not just specifically Mando, but
Bounty Hunter?
more than just one character from Mandalorian? Because it could be implying the show, not just specifically Mando.
True.
Do you think we're only gonna get Mando?
Dude, so that's I haven't thought about it enough. But for me, what's interesting is that I've said this before. Where is season 3 of Mandalorian gonna take place? What time? Because last time we saw them all, Grogu left the ship. And Din Djarin had the Darksaber, which means he's in charge of the Mandalorian people, right?
Right.
Well, you have another Mandalorian in that room that wants to be in charge of the Mandalorian people. And so, like, the biggest question is, like, did they fight? Did she just submit to him? Like, what is the situation? And now this is happening where they are no longer in that room. All this stuff is going on. And then we hear the noise of the Mandalorian theme. So are we going to get him and then he has the Darksaber? Are we going to get him with other Mandalorians because he's in charge of their people? Do they go to Mandalore and just go pick up a bunch of people and we see a glimpse of what season 3 is going to be about? There's a lot to speculate. Either way, I'm
so
super
to answer
pumped.
my question from 5 minutes ago.
I have
Do you
no
think
idea.
we're gonna
I have
see...
no idea. I don't know. I think we're gonna see more than just Mando. But I'm not gonna like be nuts and say we're gonna see Grogu or something crazy.
Well, we're not gonna. hopefully that gimmick is done and dead. Like we don't need that gimmick anymore. You know that. I think that I don't care about Grogu anymore. But
It's Grogu.
I
but-
I don't like that they're gonna bring Mandalorian characters in
What? Why?
because it's the book of Boba Fett. It should be his own show where he figures everything out
Yeah,
on his
but that's
own.
this.
But I think it's just a cop out. Oh, we're gonna get Din Djarin back here. Like that takes away from the story of Boba Fett. Like it makes him dependent
but-
on other Mandalorians. Like yes, it's about him. He's strong in a group. Like he acknowledges that in this episode.
Mhm.
But I want it to be him figuring it out on his own rather than being dependent on a fan favorite of Din Djarin to come in and save the
yeah,
day.
you think it's a little too fanfic. But in Boba Fett's defense, it's the same as when we got Boba in the Mandalorian show. Like, no, like all of us were like, we're never gonna see Boba Fett in the show. He doesn't need to be in the show. It was cool that we might have got his feet because we heard his theme a little bit. It sounded like he was wearing, like, you know what I mean? Like, we never would have thought that we would have got Boba in the Mando show. And now it's been what, 4 episodes. I never would have thought we would have got Mando in this show, and it seems like we're gonna get him. But if he's a bounty hunter again, which means maybe he figured out a way to give her the saber, which we've talked about this before, but it didn't make sense how he couldn't just give her the saber because she was gifted the saber already once. Like that doesn't make sense. But so yeah. I think if he's a bounty hunter again, then it might just be him.
Right.
But I thought it would have been cool. Now what would have been really cool, and instead of the Mando theme, we would have got your boy's theme instead, Cad Bane. That would have been cool.
See, that's the thing. It would have been cool if, because like when he said like we need to get Muscle, and Fennec was like we can hire Muscle. Like, I was thinking he was gonna hire all of his other bounty hunter like friends, like
The old one.
Bosk and Dengar and.
Well, they were never friends. They're just
Okay,
all
but he's
aligned.
hiring. They're talking
Correct.
about spending money to
True.
hire people. Like
Also, we don't know. They could be doing that as well.
I think it would be cooler to do it that way,
I
where
want to
he
see
gets his other bounty
freaking
hunters.
Bosk and Dengar. Like, I want to see those characters.
I just think that would have been more aligned with a standalone Boba Fett storyline.
I mean, I can agree with that.
But
I'm not mad that we're gonna maybe get Mando in this next episode or the finale episode, most likely. But like, I'm not mad about that. But at the same time, they're going to war, so there's still possibility that they're not gonna hire just one person. They could be hiring Bosk and a bunch of other people, So, but I do think
maybe
if we
they'll
would've
figure
got-
out how to bring all the emotions back, and they'll just hire all the Gungan army to come and help. That would be pretty fun.
Yeah, no.
Darth Jar Jar makes his return. This is it. You
This
heard it
is
here first, folks.
Gosh, no. I think it would be cool though if we would have got what's his name, if we could get Dengar in it. I think that would be cool.
Well, yeah.
Who would
All those-
play him though?
Well, we got a guy that calls in.
We got a guy, but who would be the actor guy though?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd have to see.
I do agree with
what he
that
looks
though. I
like.
think it would be cool too, but
Like honestly,
but
someone who
Cad-
kind of looks like him from like, because I only remember him like visually just from Battlefront, because it's
Yeah.
obviously it's based off the character in Empire, but
yeah,
it kind of looked like Tom Hardy could maybe pull off a Dengar.
or even John Favreau. Because he's
No,
isn't he a little thicker guy? Or no? Am I thinking wrong?
not that thick.
Well, he's not that. Not Spider-Man thick. Not
But
happy thick, but I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I hope we
But
do at least see. Maybe like he hires Mando and all the other bounty hunters.
that's
that
what
he
I'm
knows.
saying. Like maybe he hires the guild, which has like. I think it would have been really cool though if they would have added
Get some grief Karga in there.
grief. Ooh, that'd be sick. I think it would be cool if he would have hired Cad Bane and then he would have been like pointed at his like helmet.
I think it would have been.
That would have been.
I want to see
dope.
Cad Bane in live action more than anything. Like
That's what I'm saying. I think that would be sick.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying I would like to see that.
Like
He's
as
one of my
much as
favorite characters.
I'm excited to see Mando in this. Like I am actually really excited. I didn't think I would be, but like I think I'm just like really excited to see season 3 and like it's kind of a little hint to that. But at the same time, I am also excited to see Cad if we saw Cad Bane in live action. Like I think that'd be sick. But
What he should do. Broom Boy.
okay, see,
One of the father.
he's not born yet.
Who did we say was the father of Broom Boy?
I'm not gonna. I don't know.
Was it like from the Ahsoka book or something we were talking about?
Yes,
Who was it? Something.
I don't remember.
Someone. But the lineage of the Broom family. The house of
What
Broom.
do you? What if Mando was like they find Mando and he's hanging out with Ahsoka, and they both come.
No, I don't want Ahsoka in the Boba Fett
I
series.
know.
That'd be terrible. I want Ahsoka to have her own thing.
Or like, what if we saw Rex?
What did you see? Tamora Morrison's quote the other day.
Mm-mm-mm.
He said like, "I kind of look like Cody, so I look like Rex." Like he's like saying he could pull them off.
Yeah.
So like we could get him in Kenobi series when that comes out, playing Cody.
Yeah. Well, I think we can also get him as Rex in the Ahsoka show.
We'll definitely get him as Rex in Ahsoka. So he's implying that has other jobs as a clone. So
yes. It's not our last time seeing him.
right. But
yeah, I don't know. It brings a lot of questions.
So hopefully now. Oh, last week I was like, okay, these last few episodes are going to be intense, and I got let down. But hopefully now this means we're going to be intense. He's going to go out. He's going to. Do you think we'll leave planet?
Well, they have. I was gonna say they have to, but I guess they don't have to. They can just call.
He's gonna text Dinger like, "You up, bro?
Hey, what are you doing Tuesday? We got a battle over here. Can you come help me quick on Tatooine? Like, I don't know. I want them to leave, but she keeps saying like you shouldn't be showing your face. A war is happening at any point. So I doubt he's gonna leave, but maybe she's gonna leave. I don't know. I think it might take too much time, like you said, though. Like if they leave planet, that's gonna take too much time. So I think they might just throw out the bat signal and get him to come over. But it makes it seem like though that if he's getting hired, he's maybe a bounty hunter again.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's
gonna. Only time will tell, which is a week from now when we find out.
Hopefully it's not like a Luke thing where he shows up last minute or he denies the request and then shows up last minute and saves the day or something dumb like the last 10 minutes of the episode.
Who knows? But that's the end of the episode breakdown.
Yes. Overall, what's your rating?
What did I give last week? I said good, not great. I can't remember what I said. I think
like 7.5.
7 banthas out of 7 or something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think this one is probably like 6. What are those watermelons called?
Wait, you liked last 6 black melons? You liked last episode more than this one?
Yeah, because I saw it as a setup episode, and I thought it was okay. It's just a little step back from a great episode. They need to set up a little bit, and I liked it for what it was. It wasn't like the best thing, but I liked it. But this one was just a disappointment because
interesting.
of all the meaningless stuff that like we saw. That's like the episode was long because they put all this extra scenes in there that we didn't need.
Correct. It wasn't long because it was story. It was long because we got a long flashback.
Right.
I can't agree with that. It was kind of a letdown when I looked and it was 20 minutes in and we're still in the past and we're not in the future yet.
So
But
how many black melons out of 10 are you giving this episode?
I love that we started at lightsabers and now we're on black melons. But I liked it a lot. Still, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Black
Ooh.
melons. Like I liked it as much as last week, and honestly, a little more. And like last week, I had a couple like wow moments when like super excited moments when I saw like the Rancor. I was super pumped. That Black Santa scene was I enjoyed parts of it.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy the whole thing, but I enjoyed like the surprise aspect of it. I thought it was cool. And this one, I really enjoyed the Mandal thing. I was like freaking out. You guys can go check that out. Go check out YouTube and watch my watch party. Just watch the end. If you want, just watch my reaction. I had a big jump scare in this one episode too, so I enjoy parts of episodes like
Jump scare from what?
when that freaking thing came out in the Sarlacc pit.
Oh,
When it,
okay.
I jumped, dude. I legitimately jumped. I was like, "What the?" So there were some fun moments for me in this episode as a viewer, and like Star Wars, I'm gonna love no matter what. I'm super biased unless it's Last Jedi. And so for me, it's like what brings the episode like amazing. Like all of season 2 of Mandalorian, like every episode is like, what the heck? Like, there's so many moments in season 2 of Mandalorian. Like every episode was like a wow moment. Like we heard the name of Ahsoka one episode, and the next episode we saw Ahsoka. And so, and now the thing about it, next week is episode 5.
I think it's Dave Filoni next week.
Yeah. So we're
We're
see
not gonna
Mando
get
next-
Ahsoka.
No. We're gonna see Mando next week, though. Hands down, that's what we're gonna see.
Okay.
If it's Dave Filoni and they showed us the song this week, we're getting Mando. But so yeah, there's just parts of this episode that like as a viewer when I go back, I'm gonna love it. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of how long the flashbacks have been the last couple episodes, but I'm glad to see them end. And I think as a full on story, it's gonna be an episode that I'm gonna still love. So I liked it, and I liked when a Wookiee rips off an arm.
Classic.
Classic. Kind of sad there wasn't green blood or something everywhere, but it was a clean break. That's
Definitely.
for sure. Yeah, I enjoyed it. So 8 out of 10 black melons for me.
All right. Well, you know what that means. I'll push the button.
Will, what's up?
It's voicemail time.
Daddy Palps, what's good?
All right, it's voicemail time. So
It's
we
voicemail
have
time.
4. And so the first one is from Sydney.
Ooh.
So I'll start that. And maybe not.
Hey, Drew and Jeremiah, this is Sydney, or Cinemakery on Instagram. I'm a huge fan of the podcast. It's kind of crazy for me to hear the shout out last week. And in case anyone missed it, Jeremiah and I are going to do a bake-off with some Star Wars themed challenges. I didn't know this, but Jeremiah is quite the baker, so he's going to give me a run for my money. Anyway, if you're not already
You're gonna
following
win.
Empire Radio on Instagram and YouTube, make sure that you do so you can see our projects when they're posted. Stay tuned.
Oh, that was just a shout out to what you guys are doing. That's dope.
Yeah. So
I didn't realize that she was like a big fan though. That's kind of cool.
she is an OG
Really?
from the Mandalorian podcast.
Wow! Shout out to you.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And so so we talked this weekend and we have it all planned out. So set your calendars for March. We have 3 weeks of
3
of-
weeks
of
of battling.
content, of battling. Well, it's more of us as a collab.
Yeah, I know.
But we're
That's
each
cool,
gonna
though.
make our own interpretation of things. That's a Star Wars thing, and so it's gonna be fun. So that's all I can say. But stay tuned, like she said. Follow us on Instagram, which we'll talk about, and YouTube, because we'll be posting videos and pictures.
She's gonna be posting videos as well.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Sounds dope.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. So we now have 3 voicemails from Will. So here's the first one.
Will I was.
Hey Empire Radio, it's Will from the Discord, and if the listeners would like to know who that is, you better join the Discord. That's kind of the only way you'll get to know who I am. But yeah. Anyways, first, are y'all having a good day? I am having a good day. Especially after this Book of Boba episode. All the things we got to see. I don't know if this will be on after the live stream today on the 19th.
It is.
But I really liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. 8 out of 10.
Sam, me and him are on the same page. Let's go, Will.
All right. Thank you, Will, for your first. So he asked us how our day is going.
It's
Drew,
going
how
good.
was your day?
It was pretty good. My son only woke up twice last night, so the night before he woke up every hour on the hour, so
That's fun.
that sucked. But then last night I slept until like 5, and I was super excited. So from midnight to 5, woo, it was amazing. So yeah, no, not pretty good. Yeah, you?
I had issues with T-Mobile, so I had to go in and
To
get
T-Mobile?
Yeah.
Get your...
My flip phone was not... It's a long story, but it works now.
Oh, same phone? You didn't get an update?
No, I thought I was going to have to. I thought I was going to have to upgrade and spend all this money, and
Did you think you're going to have to go smart?
I would do everything in my power to
I
not
know,
go smart.
but were you like...
I would, if I had to upgrade, I'd upgrade to the new flip phone. That's what it would be.
Doesn't T-Mobile have a Razr again?
Razr?
Yeah, I think they have there's a touch screen. No, there's a touch screen Razr again. It's
no,
like the same as...
I looked it up.
Oh, really?
They don't.
Oh, maybe it's... I swear I thought they did. Anyways, you're still good.
I'm good for now. The flip phone army is still alive and going.
Army of one.
Army, there's at least 2 out there. All right, next voicemail from Will.
Hey Empire Radio, it's Will from the Discord. And yes, I'm gonna keep referring to myself as that until people join the Discord.
Until everyone...
They'll just know me as well. Well, hopefully. And then they get to join the family. But anyways, I have a question. You know how in your childhood you have these sets of memories that you remember like deep into your adulthood? Some people may call them core memories. That's what I call them. But
interesting.
What was your core memory? And there's one rule. It cannot be the snowbank.
Aww.
When I almost died. So we won't talk about it. But if you've been a fan of the podcast for a while, you know what we're talking about.
True.
So what's a core memory of yours, Drew? That something from your childhood that you remember?
One of the memories that I've had from my childhood, from like my very young, I remember the day I turned 5.
You've told the story too on the podcast.
I have. Well, he didn't say don't tell this one. So the day I turned 5, it was a Sunday, or it was like maybe it wasn't the day of, but it was like whatever, that weekend or whatever. I turned 5 because I remember I was this many, a whole hand. I was super pumped about it. And your sister asked me how old I was, and I told her I was this many. So I remember that.
Wow.
I think that's the earliest memory I have. I'm pretty sure. I remember there was like this one Christmas when we all got um giant like these kind of Star Wars toys. If you're watching, it's like the 6-inch like doll ones, and I had a Luke, and my brother had a Vader, and we all got like Vikings hoodies that year. So like I remember that, but I don't know how old I was. I think I was older than 5. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the that's one of my oldest memories is that.
All right. Well, I think my earliest memory was my 3rd birthday party
Damn.
because I remember sitting across from the cake as everyone was singing happy birthday. I remember the flames on the candles, and across from me was my Aunt Gwen. That's all I remember. This my Aunt Gwen on the other side of the candles. Everybody was singing happy birthday.
Cool.
So that's
Gwen Stacy.
no.
Oh,
Sorry.
dang.
Unfortunately. Or fortunately, I love my aunt.
I was like, what are you gonna say? Your brother's probably listening. But yeah. So
All right. So final voicemail from Will.
Hey, Empire Radio. It's Will for the third time. I'm really carrying the voicemails here. What's going on with that, huh? No, I'm just kidding. This is a question for both you two and the chat, because I don't believe I will be able to make it tonight.
even though you said hi.
If y'all had to change the actor that portrayed Anakin and Obi-Wan, along with the villain they face, who would you pick? So, like, instead of facing Count Dooku when they were going to get the Chancellor, who would you rather they face, or some scenario like that?
All right. So this is a weird question because, like,
This is a weird question.
Obi-Wan is perfect. So it's like hard.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna change.
I'm sorry, I don't know if we can do it. Now, the one person
McGregor's best.
who could do Anakin, even though he's like older than Hayden Christensen, but I think Leonardo DiCaprio could have done a great Anakin Skywalker.
Leo? Interesting.
Because if you think about it, Leo looks a lot more like Jake Lloyd, Little Annie,
True.
than Hayden Christensen. And
that's fair.
I just think that
But
Leo's ability to act is one of the best in all of Hollywood. And
that's
so, like,
fair. He's like one of the dying Hollywood like world stars. Like
dying? What do you mean?
Like they always say like nowadays like stars are never the same as they used to be because of social media and like so many people are famous quotes like but like Leonardo DiCaprio or like Will Smith like those are people that like you know who they are no matter where you are, like anyone if they can't walk anywhere. Like they literally couldn't walk anywhere in the world without someone like saying hi to them or trying to take a picture with them. There's not a lot of actors like that anymore. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure, there are. There's all kinds of them. You don't watch TMZ?
No, not like to the point of that. I don't think. But
I don't know. I think Leo's still
no, I think
up there.
I think he could do it. No, I think he is one of those people that like he probably couldn't walk. He couldn't walk to like.
He would be easier to just like with like a hat and sunglasses than Will Smith. Will Smith.
I'm telling you, if you don't know who Will Smith is, you've lived under a rock or something. No.
But yeah. So anyway, to answer the question, I think Leo could be a good Anakin. I might be a little too short for Anakin, but
definitely for
a little too short for a Sith. But I don't know.
I think. Oh, keep going.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say for Anakin replacement, I would have liked to see maybe Andrew Garfield. I think would be a cool Anakin. Yeah, like I could
Interesting.
see him. I like him as an actor. I think he's really good, and I think he has that younger look that would have portrayed Anakin well. And but he's better at showing his emotions. I feel like than Hayden. So I think it would have done better. But also he couldn't do it though because he's like what, a little older than me, so he probably would have been like the age of little Annie or
Could
something.
have played Little Annie.
Could have. So
And
I
then
don't
the
know.
second part of the question was the villain that they would fight, and I'm assuming so they fight Dooku both in episode 2 and 3. So who would they fight? I don't know. I think Dooku is just good for the story, like the second in command Sith.
Also, the actors are really good.
Yep. So
I don't know.
I can't really like think of like older actors that.
What's the name of the guy who played? What's his name? I'm horrible with names. What's his name?
What movie or what show? What are you?
Lord of the Rings. The other.
Ian McKellen.
Yes. Yes.
Gandalf.
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah. You'll be fine.
Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Why not?
Clint Eastwood. All right. Well, that's the end of voicemails. Another great week.
Yes, it is.
So how do you want to send? If you want to send a voicemail, how can you do that? Or join the Discord, or follow us on Instagram to see that bake off between me and Sydney in a few weeks, or I guess it's more than a few weeks, over a month. But
a month.
You can go to links.co/Empire Radio, links with 2 I's.
Yes.
And this goes to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can find the link for the voicemail. You can also check out needlesslynerdy.com, where we are part of that network of podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
What else is on there? I should probably check out that link.
I think
Twitch is on there. The Twitch link.
Yes. So you can find all of our links, all our socials on there, and we encourage you guys to go check out our socials, our Facebook, our Instagram. We post when we go live on our Facebook page. So if you just go follow us on Facebook, you'll know when we go live. And for Instagram, we post when our episodes go live on the air. So when YouTube goes live, we post that. When they go live on wherever you hear this, I mean, you probably get notifications if you just go follow us on all those platforms anyways. But we encourage you to still go on our Instagram. We do a lot of fun stuff over there, like announce when we do a bake off, or I do some stories of funny memes sometimes, and we interact with other people in the Star Wars community. So go check out our Instagram. I encourage you guys to go do that. And also, if you want to check these live, like we said, twitch.tv/Empire Radio to go check out these episodes live. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So I'm still excited for next week's episode, whatever that episode entails. Hopefully it's
Mando
looking up.
Oh, we're looking straight up to see if how is he gonna get there? Ooh,
new ship for Mando. Oh,
Razor Crest 2.0.
Call it the Slave One.
Oh, that would have been. I would die.
That would be the biggest troll ever.
Disney would have. Oh, yeah, but I didn't see. How would he get there? He has to have a ship now, so
it's gonna be some crappy ship.
Yeah.
All right,
it's a Beswa with 30 mirrors that look backwards for no reason. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, you've been listening to another Wizard episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.